Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Indian Captains. My name is Shoaib and I'm going to be talking to you about a very important license that you need in order to get your commercial pilot license in India. So what is this license? It's a license called the Radio Telephony Restricted License. So I'm going to be talking about the organization or the department which conducts this license exam and the frequency of the exams, the venues where the exams happen, a little bit about how the exam happens in India, the types of licenses in RTR and its validity. So this particular video is going to give you all about the RTR license, so stay tuned. First and foremost, your radio telephony restricted license or the RTR license is a license issued by Wireless Planning Commission under the Department of Telecommunication. Yes, you heard that right. It isn't under the Director General of Civil Aviation, that is DGCA. It comes under the Ministry of Telecommunication. So when you apply for this particular exam, this exam is conducted once every 2 months. That is in venues such as New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and Hyderabad. In Delhi it happens twice every year. So it's panned out all across India for every 2 months. Currently with COVID scenario, yes, the exams aren't happening, but the schedule will be up in the dot.gov.in website, which is the Department of Telecommunication website. I'll leave the website link in the description below. Anyways, let's move forward. So when you want to write the RTR exam in India, first and foremost, your eligibility criteria is 12th pass and you need to be 18 years of age. That's all is the requirement. So the exam fees is 500 rupees, which you need to pay in a website called Bharat Kosh, and then further apply for the exam offline. There's no more online registration for the exam, it's offline registration. So your RTR exam consists of two parts. The first part is your part 1 and the second one part 2. Your part 1 of the RTR license exam consists of a written exam. So basically you get 25 minutes where you're given a scenario where you're flying from point A to point B, and there are multiple questions asked where you need to answer with aviation terminologies and phonetics. So you're going to be using terms which are basically shortcuts of terms where you're going to be trying to communicate with the air traffic controller or the necessary air traffic controller present at that particular location. So it could be scenarios like emergency failures, hydraulic failure, landing, takeoff clearance, so on and so forth. It can be various requests that you're going to be making to the air traffic controller. Once this paper is for 25 minutes, so once you complete this 25 minutes long paper, I mean it's going to be of 100 marks and you need to pass with 50 marks. Once you have passed your part 1, you will be moving on to part 2, wherein you have your Viva. In your Viva comprises of two major topics such as your radio navigation, which with a little bit of telecommunication, and a regulation part. Your first part of Viva will be taken care by a WPC examiner, which is going to take your Viva, and then you will go to an AAI or an Airport Authority of India official for your regulation related Viva. Your Viva also is for 100 marks, where you need to get 50 marks to pass. Once you have cleared part 1 and part 2, the result will be announced in the website maybe in 2 to 3 weeks time from your exam date. Once your result comes out, you can apply for your license. Your license cost, if you pay 5,000 rupees, you get your license validity for 20 years, and if you pay 10,000 rupees, you get it for lifetime. So that completes the procedure in India. And if at all you don't get through your part 2, which is Viva, you have to write part 1 again in the subsequent attempt. So I hope that is clear with respect to the RTR exam in India. Also, this particular exam will give you an RTR A license. An RTR A is Radio Telephony Restricted Aeronautical License. So this license is restricted only because you can't have various usage of the radio comms equipment on board. It's just basic usage with the buttons or toggle switches. That is why it's called a restricted license. Moving on to the other two types of RTR license, which is an RTR C and an RTR P. What is an RTRP? Let me first talk about that. If you do your commercial pilot license from a Commonwealth country such as Canada, New Zealand, Australia, you get your respective RTR from that particular country. So when you come back to India, you can convert your Commonwealth RTR to an Indian RTR by just paperwork. So you have to pay some fees and get your Indian RTR. When you do that, you get an RTRP or a permit, which will help you to continue your training in India. However, that particular RTRP is going to be valid only for 5 years. So basically, after 5 years, you have to renew your RTR license in your parent country, which is wherever you did your commercial license, and then again renew it in India. So that procedure is basically documentation every 5 years. Then we have something called as an RTRC license. So what is an RTRC? There are some students who do training in a non-Commonwealth country, like for example United States of America. So once they do that, they go to a Commonwealth country to get the RTR license only. So they don't get the CPL there, they just get the for example a Canadian RT. And when they come back to India, when they want to convert it, you have to give your part 1 only. That is, you have to give your written exam only with the WPC board. So once you do that, that's if you pass your part 1, that's when you get an RTRC license. I hope you've got a clear idea of RTRA, RTRP and RTRC and what these licenses are all about. Why do you need to get this license? It's a very important question. This license will help pilots and even dispatchers. It's a mandatory license in India. And do you need to complete this license if you're doing your training in India? Absolutely yes. Initially you will be signed off by your flight school to start your flight training, but as you submit the documents for CPL, yes, you need to have an RTR as well. So once RTR is done, you need to apply for something called as a FRTO, which is Flight Radio Telephony Operator License. That license is again a paperwork procedure, but this is going to be issued by the Director General of Civil Aviation. That license allows you to fly the aircraft. Until then, you're not allowed to touch the aircraft. So keep that in mind. I will talk about FRTO in my next video, so stay tuned. If you have got a clear picture of what RTR stands for and how the entire licenses and how do you apply for it, do hit a like if you have enjoyed the video and have learned something from this. We often see a lot of people who watch our videos but are very new to the channel. If you are one of them, do hit the subscribe button down below. It definitely helps us. I will leave all the links for your for where you need to check for the notices with regards to the next exam. However, due to COVID, we haven't had exams since March, but yes, the circulars might come out anytime soon for the next attempt, and the particular location where it happens, you have a window where you have to apply and send in your details. So I will leave the website links in the description below. Do have a look. If you need another video about explaining how to prepare for an RTR exam, do hit it in the comments below. I'll make another video where I'll be talking about how to prepare for an RTR exam. Until then, you take care, stay safe, goodbye.